Welcome to day 7 on the Breakaway. What kind of view is this? I mean, come on. You gotta stay with me here. I got my Starbucks and JJ's in the room because last night was some kind of rough waters and he did not sleep very well. He took his prescription seasick meds and he's still in the room after breakfast. I'm going to tour deck 7 and 8 for you and give you a personal view of it and let you know what all's on those decks. And then I'm going to go to the Q&A session for the captain and the crew and give you some of the most entertaining snippets from that. And I think we're going to do maybe O'Sheehan's today. It's one of the included venues, and it is a 24/7 hour venue as well. 24-hour, 7 days a week venue for you. So stay tuned to see what the day holds. That's a heck of a good view to start with, huh? Well, this is the ocean view area that goes almost all the way around the ship. I mean, that was obviously the aft view, and now we're walking alongside the restaurants. This little walkway here goes all the way around the ship. So you have this beautiful ocean view as well as these beautiful seats. Y'all having fun, guys?
Yeah.
As well as these beautiful seating areas here that you can just enjoy the ocean view all day long if you want, and go in and out as needed because it passes all of these stores, the La Cucina and the Shakers and the Trade Winds tax and duty free stores. If you're looking for, especially on a sea day, just a really good area to hang out here and get your wonderful view, this is your section. As we come on to deck 8, I'm going to show you all the map so you can see, take a snapshot of the things that are on this deck. As we leave the elevator area, we come to La Cucina, which is the Italian restaurant. Very nicely decorated, looking like an Italian decor, Italian restaurant. None of our friends have eaten there yet, so I haven't heard anything personally about it. I believe this is the cigar lounge, just another bar here across from La Cucina. And then we have some seating right here. But actually, every time I've walked by, there's been people seated there. And we come to the open area where we look down onto the casino. And on the right side, we have the entrance to the ice bar, which usually in the middle of the evening over here, they have a rack full of coats, like covers, to go into the ice bar. And then this is the Shakers Lounge that we were at last night listening to piano player. He was very good. And then on the other side of this open area here where you can see down into La Bistro, that's down onto the 6th floor. And of course you can see the casino that's on the 7th floor. Around on the other side of this 8th deck, we have the Raw Bar and Ocean Blue, the entrance to Ocean Blue, which is the seafood restaurant, and the Wasabi Bar. Our friends are trying Ocean Blue, a restaurant, I think this evening. And then we get into the shopping area. You'll get a preview here on either side of some of the jewelry and the clothing. There must be a sale going on because I see quite a few people looking through the t-shirts. We have the duty-free store, of course, with cigarettes and liquor. And then here's a little preview of what's in one of the shopping stores with mugs and bags and cups and magnets. Yeah, it looks like we have a sale going on. On the left side over here, you have the photography studio. So if you've taken pictures or you want pictures taken, they usually have a setup right here to take pictures in the evening. But if you already have photos taken, you can check out your photos here. And then on this side, it's an Effie beauty shop and time zone shopping. JJ was in here earlier in the week checking out the watches. So you have timepieces down on this side, all the big brands, and then all kind of jewelry throughout the rest of the place. And then the beauty shop on this end with Clinique and Estee Lauder. If you want to get duty-free, tax-free perfumes, Chanel, Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, Estee Lauder, they have them all. Beauty essentials over here. If there's something that you forgot. I forgot one time waterproof mascara and I had to come into a shop similar to this and get some. Of course, it was very expensive, so if there's something that you've forgotten, we highly recommend to just wait until you get into port. All kinds of Ray-Ban, Oakley, and Norwegian Cruise Line shades. Across the way is the Tides Boutique, which is the name brand. You're going to get your Norwegian brand clothing in here, along with lots of other little trinkets, jewelry. I see Olivia Burton, Anne Klein, Mar-a-Lago, Swarovski. The place is pretty busy today. You got purses and t-shirts and bags. They have this emblem as well that's called Hooked on Cruising. That may be kind of Norwegian's brand, I think. And they also have this specific Norwegian titled Norwegian branded clothing in here as well. You're fine. Snacks, some snackaroonies while you're in here, along with more shades. Then we come to the other end with the elevator bay. And we're getting into the restaurants. We have Moderno here, which is the Brazilian, 7-course meat restaurant, along with Cagney's Steakhouse. And every non-cabin deck, you have restrooms on either end, and you have the signs there to show you. This is the entrance to both of the restaurants. These are by reservation only. So highly recommend when you get on board that you go to, let's see, where did we end up? We went to Headliners actually on deck 6. We went to Headliners and made our reservations for the entire week so that you make sure that you get the seating and the time that you want. Nice place, lots of hardwoods. Smells like steak, and it's 9:38 in the morning. So that's front to back of deck 8 for you. Let's check out deck 7. We're starting on this end at the aft. And you have the Manhattan room right here, which is a main dining room, but it's pretty long wait. They have the same menu as Taste and Savor, but the line when we were here the other night starts right here, and it was all the way back to the elevators just to get on the list. So come early if you want to have dinner at 6:30. You better be coming in here at least 6 and getting on the list. So they have all kinds of beautiful seating. We sat over there in the corner one night for dinner, And this is also where they have a band and a dance floor. So that's definitely different than the other two main dining rooms that don't have, don't have a dance floor, don't have a band. They're just like a regular main dining room you'd see anywhere else. Very nice setup. I'll tell you that when we were over there in the corner, we could not hear the band or even the singer singing. We could just hear like the bass guitar going. We could tell that there was music going. And because I could see someone singing, I knew that there was a singer there. But I think this low ceiling here in the back part of the restaurant, you can't hear. So if you actually want to hear the band, you might ask to be seated out there near the dance floor. As we leave the Manhattan room, we hit this end's bay of elevators. And here's the map for you for deck 7 to show you. You can stop here and take a screenshot or just look at what's on deck 7. We immediately come to the casino. This is called, one of the bars, it's called Bar 21, right here, inside the casino. Tables over there. That looks like a restaurant actually. I can't see a sign to see which restaurant it is though. And then here's Bliss, and it's a, sometimes it's a 21 to, it is an adult only. It says 18 years and above after 11 p.m. But there are also different meeting places, meeting events here, like a singles or other groups that meet in here. So if your agenda says that you're to meet in the Bliss Lounge, well, this is it. It's deck 7. It's by the casino. All kind of slot machines. Any kind of slot machine you could want. And it goes on for quite a while, all the way around this deck. And it also has an open area here that you can look down onto, down again at La Bistro, onto deck 6. It's almost the whole entire length of the 7th deck, as you can see. And then you come to O'Sheehan's, which is on the forward end of deck 7. You can sit up here, up top here, and see down onto the atrium area, which there are a lot of activities that go on in the atrium area. Not a lot of seating at all, like maybe 150 chairs. So be sure you get to the atrium early if you are going to an event and you actually want to sit down. Otherwise, you can come up here to O'Sheehan's, sit by the bar here, and look over into the atrium area at whatever games or anything else that might be going on. But O'Sheehan's is open 24/7. They have snacks along with real food. Like we ate a 3:30 snack to tide me over to dinner the other night, and it was nice to have that open. However, they do not offer sweets on the menu, and so if you come to O'Sheehan's, you're just going to be getting, savory snacks and or food. But here we are on the other end of 7, and on this end of 7 is also the box office. This is where we came to on embarkation day to book our shows for the week. There's nothing going on right now in the theater. It's at the forward end of deck 7. It's where obviously your shows are going to be going on, which right now on Breakaway the shows are Six and Burn the Floor. And there's the box office. They will help you book your shows, especially right when you get on. Just come to the box office and book your reservations for shows for the week. That's the best thing to do. We're hoping to come in here in the theater about 10:15 today to listen to the officer and captain Q&A section. I'll just tell you, for a ship this size, this is not a very big theater. We weren't able to we came 15 minutes early to the magic show and weren't able to get seats. There were not two together anywhere. So, and I know we're used to Royal Caribbean, which has a double level theater, and there's always a seat somewhere. This fills up really fast, people. So if you're coming to a show, even if you have a reservation, if you're coming to a show, be sure you get here at least 15 minutes early, if not before, or you won't find a seat. Outside the theater, deck 7 forward, is the other part, I guess you'd say, the front part of O'Sheehan's, which is kind of like a game room. It has a bowling alley right here. I mean, like, it actually works. We watched people bowling the other night, along with some, like, basketball games, some game room games. Looks like air hockey, as well as, you can see the TV with the games going on. And again, this overlooks the atrium area down onto 6. We'll start 6th deck at 6 forward. So if you get off the elevators, on one side is what's called the Spiegel tent. So if any activities are going on your schedule calling for the Spiegel tent, that's deck 6 forward. And we move from the Spiegel tent onto the area with the library and the card room. We went in here earlier this week and played Scrabble. It was a great space. It's been full though, often the last couple of days, but it also has a great ocean view. They have board games available if you didn't bring your own. And also some actual hardbound books if you didn't bring your own and you want to read. Both this hallway and obviously the elevator area leads to the atrium. Deck 6 is going to be your entertainment venue. This is where they hold many of the games, game shows, events. Like right now they have trivia going on in here. This is also the area that you can make your restaurant reservations. You can deal with guest services, onboard credit, your next cruise consultant, as well as shore excursions. And they have a nice seating area over here as well by the windows, if you don't want to be right next to all the action.
There are some tax benefits, of course, being registered in the Bahamas, but I always say the biggest advantage to us is the lack of restrictions. And what I mean by that is we can hire crew from all over the world, and we don't have any restrictions of how many people we can hire from certain countries. And that's definitely the biggest benefit to us. I always give what I call an opposite, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of an opposite bit of evidence, if you like. And that is what we call the Pride of America. Now, anyone in the room sailed on the Pride of America? Yeah, a few of you that have, and it's a ship that's in the Norwegian fleet. It's based in Hawaii, and it sails around those islands. It's registered in the United States. Now, because that ship is registered in the United States, it has to have 85% of the crew must be either a US citizen or a US green card holder. So they often find that they have recruitment issues, and sometimes it's very hard to get people on that ship because you can only have 15% non-US crew members. We don't have that issue. We're quite lucky. We can hire from all over the world, and there's no restrictions on who and where we can hire from. So that's the biggest benefit from us being registered in the Bahamas. Now, the interesting number, the total souls on board. Now, a lot of the information I'll give you has changed over recent years. This one changed a very long time ago. Over 100 years ago, it was off the back of the Titanic, this number changed. I'm sure everyone knows the story. There wasn't enough lifeboats for everyone. So ever since then, new rule was instated that you have to be able to save 150% of people in an emergency. So our total souls on board, 6536, because we can save that number and then half again. If we have 6,537, we're not allowed to leave. We have to kick someone off before they let us sail. At this current time, we're kind of at the 5-7, so we've got plenty of room. And then we got on to some of the behind the scenes places. Places you haven't been able to see. And this first one is the navigational bridge. It's up on deck number 14. It's where the driving is done, effectively. Now, I'll try not to say this too loudly, because I know the captain is currently making his way down. But contrary to belief, he doesn't drive that much. He drives in what we call red zones. That's kind of leaving ports, getting into port, docking the ship. But outside of those times, it's mainly left to the officers of the watch. He is on 24-hour call, but actual physical driving, just kind of leaving and entering the ports. And the most of it is done by the officers of the watch. Every single port, we bring on a pilot. We have to have one. It's mandatory. A pilot is effectively the captain of the local area. They are the experts in that port. They come on every time we arrive, every time we leave, and they're effectively giving the captain local information, the safest way to dock the ship, which bits are the strongest current. They're also in communication with the shoreside officials so they can monitor the traffic, if we ever needed them, tugboats, etc. There is only one part of the world where the pilot will physically take control of the ship, and that's the Panama Canal. Outside the Panama Canal and all the ports around the world, their advisory role, they can, if the captain allows, take control of the ship, but in all the ports around the world, with the exception of Panama, then the captain is still overall responsible for the ship and anything that happens during the pilot time too. And there are the anchors. Now, I like to include them, even though we haven't tendered and we don't particularly use them too much on this ship, but I like to mention them because of how big they are. They're over 35,000 pounds each and over 300 meters long. And the way they're managed is they're managed in shackles. Each shackle, 27.5 meters, which is what the white marks are. So what the team will do, if they ever do drop anchor, they'll count the white marks that go down. They can then work out how much chain is under the waterline, and they know how much they're bringing back up when it's time to move.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andreas, captain on board, and I'm from Sweden. First of all, it makes me very worried that chief engineer doesn't know how to switch on the microphone.
Don't you have a stress level?
Yeah. I wonder how it is with the rest on board.
If you spot a boat of refugees, are you under any international laws to stop and offer help?
Yes, we are obliged to assist if in any case of emergency at sea. Of course, you have to evaluate what kind of ship we are on and what kind of craft they are on, and also the risk. I mean, if they are armed or so, if there is any hazard to us, then we cannot assist. But I have been experiencing a craft just half a year ago, where we stopped outside Cuba and assisted them. We took on board 31, I think, refugees, and we brought them to Miami. So, yeah, in general, yes, we always assist.
I was just curious as to what you use for your water desalination and then what you use to warm the water.
Warming the water, we are using the waste heat from the engines, so we are not using any fuel for that. So it's a recovery of the energy. And for making the water, we have two systems. You have osmosis where you, if you're simplifying it, pumping seawater into a fine mesh or filter. The seawater molecules are much bigger than the freshwater molecules, so those parts remains on one side and the fresh water goes through. Then we are a little bit mixing with chemicals, and then we are making it to drinkable water. Then the other one is evaporating. We are boiling the seawater under the vacuum, and then we are cooling it down. It's like making moonshine back home, but it's in a bigger scale. And of course, the following question would be then, what do we do with the wastewater and the food also? So I took the liberty, because it always comes this question, what you drink comes out. If not the same day, the day after. Same with the food, whatever you eat in the Cagney's comes out. On board here we have advanced treatment plant. In many cases more advanced than on any shoreside. We have mechanical filtering, chemicals, bacteria, UV lights, and just name it. So whatever comes down from the shower, and that's slightly yellow stuff on the urinals, and not for to talk about that in a toilet bowl, to this clear, non-carbonated, drinkable water.
How does the recruiting and I'll say testing, or how do you handle that whole process of obtaining staff?
Yeah, so in the office, this is handled by Global Talent, and it's pretty much into two divisions. We have the recruitment part, right? They're working with all the agencies in the respective areas. Of course, most of the agencies are in Asia, in Philippines, in Indonesia. We do have in the Caribbean also, and then we hire from all over the world through our Global Talent team. And once that is done, basically when they do the recruitment, they're looking for people, of course, who have the background in what they are recruited for. But in most cases, we'll have people starting at the entry level, and then they work their way up. And once they're recruited, then of course we'll do the onboarding, which is actually the harder part. The onboarding is the visas, medicals, all these issues before we can get the crew on. So there's crew who were hired maybe a year ago, and they're still not on board yet because we need to complete the onboarding process. So recruitment is a big part of it. Thousands of people get recruited. Of course, again, most are from Asia, which is the Philippines. It makes up about 47%, and then comes Indonesia, Indian, and then like us Jamaicans, I fall into others. Yeah.
At 21 knots, how many miles to stop the ship?
Yeah, we can stop. In this ship is a little bit specific. We have what we call acipod propulsion. We have two propellers which we can turn 360 degrees. So if we're gonna stop this ship, then we will reduce the speed a little bit, and then we will turn the pods 180 degrees. And this is what we call a crash stop. And then you basically you run full ahead, but with the pods facing the other direction, right? So I think it's 1.5 mile something with a full speed. Yeah. But depending on what we are stopping for and why we are stopping, you have to evaluate the consequences. I mean, it's quite good vibrations when you do that, so it's not something you do for fun, really. Fasten your seatbelts and let's try it. Nothing gonna happen. We can try. What do you think, Chief?
No, then I won't have any glass in the restaurant. No Captain. No Captain.
Got a lot of broken china.
Glass and plates.
How's my little sailor?
I'm not a sailor. My tummy tells me I'm not a sailor. I'm a chair force guy. I'm a little
woozy?
Like this.
Still a little woozy.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're ready for lunch?
Need to go try and get something. Like a hamburger maybe at O'Sheehan. Some greasy French fries and see how that sits on my tummy.
Oh wow, that's quite a risk.
Yeah, I may come home and get rid of it, but who knows?
Okay, we share everything with y'all here at All Things Wagner.
All things Wagner, man.
All things.
Not all things,
not all
but
things. Yeah.
Many things.
We'll see what All Things Wagner shares. So I got him to O'Sheehan's, and I wanted to show y'all a little bit of the menu. So if you wanted to screenshot that or pause it and read the menu, you know, because they've got like all those appetizers and then soups and salads also along with the burgers, which that's what I'm having. Are you having a burger or fish and chips? And the pub hot dog and a Coney hot dog. And then the sandwiches. Oh, there's another page too. JJ ordered the Cobb salad because he likes salads. So I wanted to show y'all because it's a pretty small serving. So if you're not like super hungry and you're coming by O'Sheehan's, this might be a good option. He's finishing up his salad. Thumbs up or no? All right, and his fish and chips have arrived. I'm gonna touch them. Oh, that's crispy. That. Get your fingers off my fish. And my burger looks excellent. And feels like crispy fries. We weren't going to have dessert, 1. 2, if we did, we were getting the carrot cake. But he talked us into the apple pie, and this is what he brought. Believe that. Okay, we'll let you know how to. Why don't I just taste it and let him know how it is? Oh my. Oh my. On a 10 scale.
Okay, that's enough. The rest is mine.
It's about a 6. I like a crispier crust. Maybe it's just the part I got though, but it's good. Lunch was pretty darn good. I don't want to overuse the word amazing, but
I wouldn't say amazing. I'd say it was
as-
very good.
As long as we've been comparing
Yeah.
all cruise to Royal Caribbean, the burger I had was better than Johnny Rockets.
Whoa.
It was good.
Really?
It was good. It was thicker. It was, you know,
It was-
it was thick.
It was thicker.
It was thicker and it was larger. It was larger than Johnny Rockets. And the fries were completely crispy, perfect, on point. They were wonderful.
On point.
Yeah. So how was your fish and chips?
Jolly good.
It's so bad. Totally good.
Jolly good.
And the apple pie we had, you heard our review, so it was okay.
I give it an 8.
And how are you feeling? How's your stomach doing?
Tummy is a little better. Yeah.
Head not swimming anymore?
Head's clearing up.
And we are out here on this view that I showed you this morning. This awesome ocean view walkway. I don't know really what they call it. It's
Ocho.
Deck 8.
Numero
And you
ocho.
can access it through any of the restaurants or really Shakers. Right by the Shakers Martini Bar is the best way to get out here. Through the tax-free store as well as like
The
Cagney's
duty-free
and-
store?
Yeah.
Oh,
You said duty.
I did say duty.
We are going to try to do our cruise review, pros and cons, from the airport because our flight is at 1:30, but we are getting off the ship probably by 9.
I hope.
So yeah, we have a little wait in the airport. So, and I've been keeping notes all week about pros and cons.
Copious notes. Doing a good job.
And it may have actually already played. I may post it before I get to posting this vlog since we're on day 7. So
Well, that would be up to the editor. Oh, that's you. Okay. Yeah, that's her.
so if I have already posted it, I will link it down below.
One more look. One more look. Isn't that gorgeous?
Pretty awesome.
Man, a bad day cruising's better than a good day working. Thanks, babe.
We got a short nap and now we're getting ready for a fancy dinner at Cagney Steakhouse. And when I mean fancy, I mean JJ has a new sports coat, y'all. He only has owned one sports coat for like the past 25 years that I've known him, 28 years. Seriously, he used to have one suit and I think it like started getting thready and so it's gone, but he's had one sports coat. So we bought him a fancy sports coat, a new one. So he'll be wearing that for dinner. And I wanted to point out that this right here appears to be a Carnival ship, and I'll show it to you closer. I think it's either the Breeze or the Glory. We were in port with the glory. And so I think that's probably her. Hey, buddy. See you back in NOLA. And of course, we also have to get our packing done tonight, which I'm never looking forward to. I got him fancied up. Put the Sears model hand in the pocket. Look at that.
I'm going to do it this way because that's where my hanky is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Can y'all believe it? New suit jacket. Ooh. Hubba hubba.
Chick, chick. You look marvelous. Going to take my girlfriend to dinner. Last night.
You ready for your steak-a-rama?
I am ready for Mr. Cagney to get down on the steak plate.
Plan on having a filet mignon because that's my chosen
Shocking.
steak. I know.
Shocking.
If y'all haven't watched our vlogs before, then I'll tell you my steak story. I didn't grow up with money, and so I thought I didn't like steak because it was so I didn't want to have to like chew 1,000 times to swallow steak. And then I finally had filet mignon as an adult, and I thought, oh, this is what steak's supposed to be.
This is what good steak is
Good
supposed
steak
to be.
is supposed to be. I am a steak eater now,
Right.
But just filet. So it's kind of a money prison I put myself in to always have filet mignon. Sir, what have you had so far, and how was it?
I have had tiger prawns, tiger prawns, not shrimp, tiger prawns. They were fantastic. And my wedge salad, which is also very good. The bread is amazing. It's rosemary herb. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it.
And your wedge salad, you got to choose.
Yeah, they gave me an opportunity to choose what dressing I wanted, which is unusual because it typically comes with blue cheese. And I'm not a big fan of blue cheese, but I'll eat it. So I had world famous Texas Ranch.
I had the crab cake croquette. I think they called it a cake for appetizer. It was very good. I'm taking it slow and not finishing everything so I have room for my steak and my main course. But it was very good. It was not really super crispy on the outside, but it was very good. It was very meaty, so it had a lot of meat to it. And then I just finished the lobster bisque. I will say the flavors are just not what I prefer compared to Royals, of course. Royal Caribbean's lobster bisque, which I just had in October, and it was like the best lobster bisque I've ever had. This wasn't like not as good, it just was my preference. So this was still excellent lobster bisque, so you'll be happy with that. I'm having the filet mignon for dinner and a baked potato and grilled veggies, and JJ's having the filet as well and a baked potato and mushrooms. How was your steak, sir?
It was a 9. Sauteed mushrooms and baked potato, perfect. Very happy.
Very happy. Could also describe me. My steak was perfect. A little dry. I had to add some béarnaise sauce to it, but the taste was good. And potato and the grilled zucchini was kind of flavorless. I had to add salt, and I don't usually salt anything, but it was grilled, and I could taste the oil that they cooked it with. So it tasted good. It just wasn't very flavorful. Dessert is definitely a wow. JJ got the caramel butterscotch cheesecake. And the taste is?
The cheesecake is lighter than I'm used to. It's not Junior's, but it's excellent. I give it a 10.
And I got a 10, but it's not Junior's?
Not Junior's, but I give it a 10. It's different. It's just different.
And I got a humongous piece of chocolate cake.
7-layer.
And if it's dark chocolate, I might be disappointed, and it looks like it is. But I thought it was going to be actually cake. This looks like it might be mousse, but we shall see. And it is dark chocolate, and it is mousse. So neither one of those I'm crazy about. I guess I need to, when I see chocolate cake on the menu, I guess I need to ask more questions, because the second time. Can't remember if it's been on this cruise or another one that, they say cake. I think like flour cake. But the taste is good, and if you like those two things, you'll love it. And it's packing time. Oh, he's already undressing.
Sorry, that's all you get.
We got to pack that jacket again. We got to pack, and then we're calling it a night. So this is it, y'all. Bye.
Until next time.
You gonna peace out?
Until next time. Peace.
Be blessed.